For centuries, millions of wild, free-roaming bison used to roam the plains of Alberta and Montana, shaping their ecosystem and the people that lived within it. The Blackfoot were one of these people. However, by the late 1800s, bison were nearly exterminated, mainly due to Western settlement. The Blackfoot were then forced to reserves, and this opened up the region for cattle ranching. This not only got rid of an ecological keystone species, it severed an important relationship between bison, the Blackfoot, and the land. And this severely damaged Blackfoot culture and health. My research helps us understand how Indigenous-led conservation can restore wild animal populations in a way that also supports the culture, values, and self-determination of Indigenous communities. Historically, conservation was led by the state in a way that kind of separated nature from culture. However, more recently, conservation is trying to take a more collaborative approach by engaging the diverse knowledge systems and values of different actors. What might such an approach look like for bison restoration in this complex landscape that's fragmented by fences, protected areas, and international borders? And what are the potential barriers and social perceptions of bison from cattle ranchers? To answer these questions, I worked alongside the Linnii initiative, one of North America's most profound collaborative conservation efforts to restore wild, free-roaming bison to Blackfoot territory in and around Waterton Lakes and Glacier National Parks. This is led by the Blackfoot. It's centered on Blackfoot community values and needs, and brings together groups like the Wildlife Conservation Society, National Park Service, and Parks Canada. Recognizing my position as a researcher from outside of the community, I first developed relationships with Blackfoot collaborators to ensure that I was following proper research and cultural protocol. Through interviews and participant observation, my research shows that both Blackfeet and non-Indigenous ranchers share some concerns around disease transmission, fence damage, and feel uninformed and marginalized from the decision-making process. My research also suggests that factors that are most critical to effective collaboration that will be valuable for engaging ranchers as conservation actors include having a holistic perspective of conservation, recognizing the unique skill sets of each collaborator, and maintaining transparency throughout communication. The findings of my research not only support the success of this initiative, but in so doing, they demonstrate that conservation led by Indigenous communities can be done in a way that asserts their rights and sovereignty. And what I'm most excited about is that my research shows how collaborative conservation can bring people and nations together across borders, healing relationships that were once broken and forwarding efforts of reconciliation. Thank you.